What was on time today? What's the word, man? What I got going on? Who all in here? Hold on. Close out. Been running the show, man. Finally just accepted that the PlayStation 5 just doesn't exist. So I'm just going to play it on PS4. It is what it is. You got to save it twice, man. You never really know. Who all in here, man? Whack in here. Megan's back. Broad's in here. Lamar. Al. Brian. Al. Lamar again. Jordan. Elijah's here. Now, here's the thing. I was on time for StreamYard. They give you a couple seconds delay, like just in case I wanted to do something crazy on here so they can, you know what I mean? So there's like a countdown on there. I was on time for that. What y'all got going on, man? Elijah don't even be in here. This is going to be his only statement. Let's see. Somebody got to be playing basketball tonight. Some sort of hooped ball. 8:05. Yeah, 8:05 was the start time. There we go. Warriors Rockets. What a terrible game this should be. They got John Wall on the preview with Steph, and I'm almost certain John Wall's out for the season. I'm almost 1,000% certain of it. But here we are. I'm going to watch it. This is what I'll do. I saw that. I saw LaMelo was, I guess, coming back. I didn't know it was like tonight, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hold on. There we go. There we go. She was blocking the TV, man. The game. Oh, no, listen. There was going to be no fun. I really like these Houston uniforms, and I really don't like these Golden State uniforms. Not a fan. Yeah, I don't know who. Somebody misinformed Brian. No one said anything about this. The Pistons haven't done anything fun all year. Maybe trading for Hammy. Trade from Hammy was pretty fun. Oh, man. Had to break out the old. I mean, I ain't wore this since football season. Ask me about my cats. I think we put 6 of them in the draft. 1 or 2 more undrafted free agents. Officially a volleyball, cheerleading, rifle, and football and gymnastics and football school. Officially. That's the one. But oh yes, we watched it here. I watched it here at this very spot last weekend at this very time. Okay. Where are you from, Lamar? From Charlotte? Where your sister is? Charlotte, Arkansas, or Kentucky? Because those are 3 very different realms. I had a strawberry Hennessy margarita. It's definitely that raw. The Rockets don't deserve these jerseys. Don't answer. I don't want to know. He wasn't nice. He was still growing up. He has some growing up to do. If he was nice, then of course he was. I think I finally hit my Respectfully, she must have been a star, man. Respect, with all due respect. If they just like met random, you know what I'm saying, like that, like a roommate of a friend of a roommate. Respect. Everybody's old first round picks is on the Rockets now. DJ Wilson, Kevin Porter Jr. scoring 50 points. Steph missed a three. He's clearly done. Kelly Olynyk, former first round pick. Yeah, I think this week I hit what everybody else has been going, like just the NBA, like this shit ain't over yet. Like for so long, I was like, I don't know what y'all. And just this past week, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the playoffs. I finally hit that on the wall or whatever, you know what I'm saying, where people are like, oh my God, is this necessary? I finally hit that. Yeah, see, they showing that Little Caesars thin crust doesn't look bad. Where's who was in here saying that Little Caesars was fire? I was like, hold on now. Listen, fire. I don't Little Caesar shame, but fire is just a bridge too far. It's a bridge too far. But the commercial made it look all right. So, I mean, Rhode Island pure. Dude, I was down. I got round 2 Wednesday. I was fine Wednesday. I was fine Thursday morning. And then Thursday afternoon and night, I felt fucking terrible. I just kept waiting. I was like, okay, like I think I beat, oh God. And I just laid down. I just laid down for quite a bit. Quite a bit. Food port. What'd you get it from, Megan? That always tells the story. Like if you get food poisoning from like oh, I eat at this place all the time, it's my favorite food, that's tough. But if you get it from, I tried something, I knew I shouldn't have bought sushi out of the bathroom. I don't know why I thought a California roll out of the bathroom was a good idea. Hey, yeah, no, the Little Caesars deep dish is solid. I will vouch for that. I saw that Jonathan Allen and Chase Young already took Jamin out to DC Prime, or was it Prime? One of them nice ass restaurants out in DC, man. That's exactly what I want my captains to do. Jamin's in Washington, Boss Man and Big Snack are in Dallas. I think, yeah. Phil Hoskins is in Carolina. Brandon Echols is a Jet. AJ Rose is a Viking. Landon Young is a. I just can't keep all my kids straight. I just almost, you know what? I almost said I was like the guy with all those kids, and then I saw that guy with all those kids. Did y'all see that this week? He was arrested for child abuse. Doug, the dude with like 19 kids. Josh Duck, yeah. Like bad stuff. Like the worst stuff. Yeah, Josh Duggar. It was like legit for yeah. Listen, that's what they. Anytime you walk out of the bathroom, that's what they tell you. This California, it just came in from California today. Meg said, "I'll take 2." Now her stomach doing the herky jerky. Yeah, Josh Duggar. Quit Mahana to Dallas. Yeah, big. Yeah, Bohanna and Bossman, Kelvin Joseph are in Dallas. Phil Hoskins in Carolina. I need to see where Drake Jackson end up. But yeah, look, like I think having 19 kids on its own is child abuse. And oh yeah, that boy Genie down bad. Listen, I've been there, dude. Troubled teen, I was one. And like, listen, you can be fine in like 4 days. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's today? Saturday. By next fireside chat, you're gonna be good as new. I take your advice. Which advice was this, Matt? Because maybe I did. Maybe I did. Okay. You take it to that Devin Funchess seafood spot. Was it Seafood Junction? I think the name of their place in Charlotte, Seafood Junction. Lots of water. No, you know what? I did do that, man. I did, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna beat it. And then it was like not so fast. I feel like at about 24 hours on the dot is when I felt terrible. And I felt terrible for the rest of the night. And after that, Friday was better. Today I feel fine. Seafood junk. Look, hold on now. Megan talking about seafood junction, ew. But the seafood she eat give her food poisoning. Like, you know what I'm saying? We were, you know what I'm saying? Which side is it? Which side is it? Because I know Seafood Junction didn't give you whatever you got. I know that. I know that didn't happen. You gotta be more. Listen, every single thing you post upsets me, Sophie. Every single thing you ever posted has upset me. So on that note, the people are right. The people are right. No, thank you, man. The people seem to have enjoyed that. I hope if you haven't yet, go check out Session Sheesh. I knew going in, I was like, I gotta find somebody to do this the week of because I'm gonna feel like shit on the day to record. And good thing about me, because y'all would have just not got a show if I hadn't recorded yet. But yeah, I can't believe like Spencer Hall and I, we've really been following each other maybe close to a decade. I've never talked, never met him, never talked on anything. So I enjoyed our talk. I feel like we could have did another 2, but next time. Because you didn't get the sushi from Seafood Junction gave you food poisoning, man. Okay. I'm about to. She spelled log with 2 G's. Forgot to go. Yeah. Oh man. Once he said that cheese, I was like, man, this one was like you never know how you're gonna interact with somebody till y'all interact. Like I've met people in person that I've like followed and talked to online for years, and sometimes it just don't click. Sometimes it just work better on the screen. And once we got into Billy Morrow, and once he dropped that cheese take, I was like, yeah, this is exactly what it's supposed to be. Look, I mean, we kind of had. When you think about the tweet, it's literally been about a decade. We just about have. Next, oh man, I won't say what I had to talk to him about because I'm gonna save that stuff for next time. But we could have did Atlantic Star and the Vince McMahon. There's a we might run through some of that today because I really don't want to read these Josh Duggar charges. I pulled them up, but I don't want to read them. Vince McMahon is a crazy, like, but he's like a for real, like real deal crazy person. Uh-oh, hold up. The plug for PS5 might have just hit me back. Maybe. Maybe. I gotta find this thread. Okay, here we go. Have y'all seen this? Have you guys seen this? Give me one. I will not. I will not. You just said, well, I thought you were leaving. Look, just like Squid left. I thought you was leaving. How'd you do, Kevin? How'd you do? I get it. I get. No, really, I do. We get to watch. Have y'all not been paying attention? All I do is take L's in real time. Please, I will not read the deck of charges because I clicked. It said child abuse, and I was like, I 100% believe having 19 kids is child abuse. And then it was like bad. But enough about that. 117 with bumpers. That boy cooking. Who do you think you are? I am. I did it. I did it. Okay, but here's this Vince McMahon theory. This is from May 6, 2019. Allen at ALLAN_ cheap shot. Allen _ cheap shot. Vince hates sneezing. When someone sneezes, he yells at them and tells them to control themselves. On the rare occasion Vince sneezes, he angrily mutters to himself and loses focus for a few minutes. That was from Paul Heyman on Jericho's podcast. Oh, he also has the sources for these. So this one was like hard to tell what's BS and what's not. He's got sources. I don't care to check the sources because I believe anything about Vince McMahon. Second, Vince once raced former WWE writer Court Bauer. Vince boxed in Court, so the Court was heading straight for road construction. Court had to slam on the brakes to avoid an accident. Vince sped off, having won the race by almost killed a guy. This is a two-parter. Vince went bowling with an NBC executive. The guy had done something Vince didn't like. Obviously, since they were bowling, they were wearing bowling shoes. Vince sneaked off, got the guy's real shoes from behind the counter, tossed the shoes in the garbage, and left. Okay, that one's funny. That's funny. This guy had no idea where his shoes were and had to go home wearing the gross bowling shoes. Vince contacted him later, said, "That's what you get, pal." The guy wrote a book and said that Vince was the biggest jerk he'd ever met in real life. That one's funny. That, like, if you bowling with Vince McMahon, you're worth several hundred million or billion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's funny. That's funny. Next, this one, not funny. Vince, as a prank, had real police arrest Jonathan Coachman, who is black, for running a betting pool at work. Coach said when the cop car finally turned around and brought him back to WWE headquarters, he openly wept in relief and rage. That one wasn't. I didn't like that one as much. Vince got wasted at a strip club and let the Hart Foundation hit their finisher on him, and they hit him really hard. Vince said something insulting to Kofi on a plane, and Kofi didn't do anything. As they were getting off the plane, Jericho told Kofi that if he didn't confront and fight Vince immediately, Kofi's career was effectively over in Vince's mind. That's how Vince tested his talent. Another two-parter. Former 90210 writer Larry Mullen joined Stephanie's creative team. They were in a meeting with Vince. Vince was talking. Larry was nodding. Stephanie pulled Larry out of the room. She told him, "You need to stop nodding. Vince hates nodding." She explained that if it's one thing Vince hates, it's a yes man. This is extra hilarious because everyone always says that Vince is surrounded by yes men. Poor Larry lasted a couple of weeks. There's another two-parter. Vince invited Mark Henry to a workout session. Bear in mind that Mark Henry's claim as the world's strongest man is based on the fact he is the only man to compete at top-level Olympic lifting, powerlifting, and strongman competitions. Vince tried to out-rep him on every exercise. Henry went along with it because he's competitive, and even admitted that Vince tested him a little bit. Mark says that he actually quit before Vince did. Vince phoned Mark in great pain and admitted that he had made a terrible mistake. Vince was hesitant to hire Gail Kim due to her being Asian. That's the story. No, Jim Ross convinced him not only because of her in-ring talent, but the fact that many men are attracted to Asian women and that there are even lots of Asian porn sites on the internet. This apparently shocked the hell out of Vince, who had no idea Asian porn sites existed. The McMahons were playing pool at their holiday home in Boca. Triple H and Steph versus Vince and Linda. It's supposed to be a fun family game, and Vince turned it into serious competition. Triple H and Steph kept getting lucky and were winning. Vince was getting mad at Linda because she was making their side lose. Eventually, Steph ended up potting for the win, and he cracked up and stalked off. Then later that night, she called him through the intercom and saying, "You're tied to the whipping post, Dad," to piss him off. And from their bedroom, Steph and Triple H could hear him literally screaming in anger in the other side of the house. Okay, I'm just checking back on the like. Should I keep? There are way more. I mean, not way. I mean, there's a few more. Like, should I keep going or nah? Like, are the people enjoying this? Let me get this Duggar stuff off. I don't even want to think about that. He's in jail where he ought to be. I gotta, every single one of those make him a dick, except for the bolt. Now the bolt, that's funny. That's funny. If you're a multimillionaire, you went bowling with another multimillionaire, you found out they just threw your shoes away. That's funny. Keep going. Okay. The Spencer, I have. We will talk. We can talk a little Spencer Hay, Matt Money. Did I get to listen? Vince hating sneezing was the first story of the three. That's how you know it's like real business. Out of all these, Vince hating sneezing was number one. All right. Let's see. Tiger Ali Singh complained to Vince about making him wear a turban in traditional Indian garb, telling him it was offensive to his people and a desecration. Vince replied, "You and D'Lo are going to put on those fucking turbans. I don't care about desecration." JR once farted in a car with Gerald Briscoe. Hold up. Let me start over. JR once farted in a car. JR once farted in a car with Gerald Briscoe, which made Briscoe start gagging and throwing up. Vince heard about that, so backstage at Raw one night, he tried to fart and make Briscoe puke. It backfired, and Vince shit his pants. He then had to go out to the ring and do a promo. JR said that all the production people in his headphones told him about it, and they were instructed to keep the camera shots above Vince's waistline for the entire promo. I look at eating as fuel. I'm not that conscious of the protein I eat, but I know it's a lot. I think cheat meals are very important, so I do it about once a week. When you cheat, go for it. It's important from a psychological standpoint. Oreos are my favorite cookie. I'll eat an entire box. My philosophy is that the body can assimilate only so much in a given time. If you have 2 or 3 Oreos every day, not good. But if you eat an entire package of Oreos at one time, it's okay. It just passes through. I'll eat pasta sauce loaded up with meat. I'll eat pasta loaded up with meat sauce, pizza, all the carbs you stay away from normally. Load them up. I will gorge. It's almost like I will force feed myself on a cheat meal. And afterward, I think, oh my God, I don't want to feel like this. That feels pretty standard. That feels pretty standard. Back at WrestleMania 25, Mickey Rourke got so worked up by Chris Jericho that he was convinced it was a shoot. As a result, he brought muscle with him in case things went awry. One of the people he brought in was former UFC light heavyweight champion Frank Shamrock. During the day, Jericho hashed things out with Rourke, so he knew there'd be no issue. Afterwards, he told Vince about it, and Vince claimed that he, Jericho, and Dean Malenko could take them out, claiming, "Look at that guy. He's a midget." His words, not mine. Jericho offered to let him take the midget, who was Shamrock. A few years ago, the company had a snow cone party. Kind of weird, I know. This was back in the lot of the TV studio, not the large headquarters building everyone always sees. Well, apparently, Vince is a huge snow cone fanatic. So much so that he had a lot of them, like 10. And at one point, he got up and announced in front of everyone in his Mr. McMahon, "You're fired" voice that he loves snow cones. It was awkward, and I had to fight back my laughter. It was surreal. Vince thinks throwing or pushing someone into a swimming pool while fully clothed is the funniest thing on planet Earth. One time he got drunk and urinated on Ric Flair's hotel bed. We're getting to the quick hitter. Chris Jericho said he took a picture of Vince sleeping at an airport. He showed the picture to Vince, who demanded he delete it immediately. That one, though, I don't know, it feels kind of regular. Paul Heyman, when he talked about McMahon's competitiveness, Vince supposedly has a world-class thick beard, but shaves constantly. I hadn't seen this one. Hold up. I'm sorry. That was unprofessional. Hey, it's Kenyon Martin. Paul Heyman, where he talked about Vince and K. McMahon's competitiveness. Vince supposedly has a world-class thick beard, but shaves constantly. Heyman asked why Vince doesn't let the beard out and save himself the trouble. Vince's answer, "I can't let it win." Vince holds a meeting with all the talent announcing the switch to PG programming. Michael Tarver stands up and asks a question. Vince's response, "Excellent question, Shelton." We're almost done. CM Punk told a story when he, The Undertaker, JBL, Edge, and Vince all had to room together when they were doing tribute to the troops. And Punk couldn't sleep because everyone was snoring except for Vince, who kept laughing at his own farts. That's kind of funny too. Regarding See No Evil, Vince wants this scene in the movie where Kane's character pulls out his penis and he wants it to be 3 feet long. I thought there was a connection problem. I said, "Greg, can you just back up and repeat that last line for me?" He goes, "Yes. Vince wants Kane's penis to be 3 feet long." And none of the producers are saying anything about it. Actually, I'm going to check back in with again, should I keep going? I thought we were getting close. Every time I click more, there's like dozens more. So if y'all say keep going, we'll keep going. If y'all say a couple more, if y'all say it's time, we'll move on. But I don't know. Oh, man. JR farting in the car and Briscoe just throwing up is hilarious, man. You know JR be eating no good, man. I know JR diet horrible. I want the 2 little strand like Kevin Porter, man. Like Deshaun Hyler. Like you just get one braid and leave the rest out. I think that's the look for the cool guys. Vince is so ridiculous. It's like it doesn't seem real, but then you think of like if you said this stuff about anybody else, I'd be like, "Hey, come on, man. I don't believe that about Adam Silver." You said about Vince McMahon, I definitely believe it. Man, I will not imagine a JR fart. All right, we'll go a couple more. Let's see. Where did I stop? Jim Cornette was at Vince's house, and Vince had somebody from the cable company working on the TV because the sound wouldn't work. The guy came up to Vince holding the remote control and explained to him what a mute button was and that the mute was on. Vince gave him a $100 tip. Yeah, come on, that's solid. Like at least he didn't walk him out of there with nothing. Vince had Tommy Dreamer called Sabu about doing a one-night stand. Vince was on the line, but he was quiet, and Sabu was asking for too much money. Vince then said to Tommy, "Tell Sabu to fuck Sabu." Vince criticizing a teenage Shane McMahon for wearing a winter coat in winter. Mr. Fuji was in bad shape health-wise and financially, but he wouldn't come to see Vince and ask for help. When Vince found out from one of the agents, he sent Earl Hebner with a large bag filled with money to Mr. Fuji's house. Solid one. Solid one. Okay, this I don't want to close on a good one because he's a bad guy, but this one's funny. They were in a creative meeting trying to come up with ways for Big Show to job while still looking strong. One idea was someone would spike his burrito. Vince was shocked, not for the spiking, but because he had no idea what a burrito was. Somebody just explain, like, Vince, you don't know what I don't know what it is, Austin. But then again, it's like Vince is Mexican. Yeah, I can see Vince not being in tune with Mexican cuisine. All right, now hold on now. This plug might be shady. I said, how much they running? He said, you want digital or disc? I said, digital. He said, I got you. How much you paying? How much they run? You think I haven't bought black market goods before? I was born at night. It wasn't last night. How much you? Yeah, come on, man. How much? I'll pay. I'll pay $100,000. Come on, man. I'm pay what they cost. $300. I'll pay that. I'll pay that. Yeah, I'll pay that. And if he get it to me and it's legit, I might shoot him a little something. But no, I'm not. Come on, man. Yeah, come on, man. It's like the Facebook. It was like dude said he was trying to sell me it wasn't a gram. I don't know. He was like a gram for like 75. He's like, oh, you thought I was white. Yeah, listen. Come on, buddy. It's Cannot do it. Won't do it. Is Vince a big Mac? I've never heard him say anything political, but I would be honest to God surprised if Vince was like, no, Hillary is what this country needs. I would be shocked if Vince McMahon is not a Trump friends with Lynn. Yeah, like that tracks. That tracks. How much are you paying? If I just said $40, I'd be willing to go up to 50. I'd be excited. You should. I like AJ Rose. His thing was if you just look at the backs that do well for like Benny Snell in particular, they're bigger backs, one cut, if that, and go. AJ Rose is a shiftier type back. So he was kind of our change of pace, but the guy behind him, Chris Rodriguez and Kavasier Smoke, were more Benny Snell style. But I did think he was going to get drafted. I was looking for AJ to go in like 6th round. So for like undrafted free agent, I think he'll have a shot to legit make the team. And then he take Dalvin Cook's job. But no, I like AJ Rose. His wife was in Trump's cabinet. Yeah, I'm with her, Austin. That's really harsh on my voice, but everything is funnier in Vince McMahon's voice. Yeah, listen. Quiet as it's kept, the WWE is a small family business. You know what I mean? Shane was going to inherit it from Vince. Vince from his father. What's Vince McMahon's father's name? I can't. I can see it. I can see him. It might have also been Vince. Yeah, like, hey, thank you for doing that. That's retail plus tax. How much is shipping? What's shipping on those? I've waited 8 months. I don't need it overnight. You know what I mean? I was, I'm just gonna randomly say things in Vince's word. Back the blue, Austin. Just to just to get people tuned back in. Then I think I was gonna say I'm almost certain it was Vincenzo, yeah. 420. Hey, like, hey, where you at, man? Let me come get this. Because this already, like, listen, I was on PS, man. I don't know where that guy went. I ain't gonna say what he did, but the boy helped me out. Well, we had GameStop in a Cobra clutch, me and him. So if this is something similar, you know what I mean, then I'm that's what I'm saying. I've had some luck with this before. Call it 20. Okay, I'll say 450. But hey, 450. Take it or leave it. Steph missed again. Let me buy your PS4. How much you paying? How much you paying, man? That's why you just become the dominant force, right? Where he's this, you have to differentiate him, not you. You have to differentiate him. You talking about Vince? No, if I was talking about Vince, I would have said Vince. I'm talking about his dad. 200. We could talk. Because I was gonna say all I need is PS3. Let me keep PS3 for NCAA. PS4 I won't need. I'll leave it on the Omni balcony for you, Megan. Is that a deal? Do we have ourselves a deal? 250. Listen, the show is on it. You better believe the show is on it. Jackie Robinson edition. It come with 10K stubs. They keep that. Listen, I keep it on me, man. Oh, getting hot outside. Niggas get crazy when it's hot outside, man. It's on me like my keys and my wallet. The wrestler's court. I did not. What's the wrestler's court? Checking back in to see if he tried to hit me. So boy, Chappelle killing it. Man, listen. Yesterday, I got more Korean fried chicken. And I watched Sticks and Stones again by Chappelle, and I laughed my ass off. He's really the greatest of all time, man. He's really the greatest. Like for the longest time, I had he and Patrice 1A and 1B, and then Chappelle just dropped like 6 more stand-ups. There's a kangaroo court where Undertaker was. What's so wild about wrestling is that anything checks out. Like you could have said wrestler's court was literally anything, and I would have been like, it was when Ric Flair used to drive Uber for Perry Saturn, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. If the wrestlers had issue there, and the Blue Lives Matter Taker, that Undertaker was I guess that's accurate. Does the trees have any? That no, okay. I'll tell you what. If you have, if you got Apple Music, if you search for Black Phillip show, like what really got me into Patrice, he had a show called Black Phillip, and yeah, I think I was gonna say Elephant in the Room. I don't think it's on Netflix or anything, but I'm sure you could. I feel like you could find it. It's worth. Elephant in the Room's tremendous. If you have Apple, he's got some comedy albums on Apple Music. I just don't like. I assume if they're on Apple Music, they're on Spotify. But if you search whatever streaming music you have, search for him. He's got some stuff there. Yeah, I never know what we're gonna stream, and I've been trying to think of stuff to stream that won't get us in trouble. And Black Phillip is basically, it's like 4 hours of show of him just giving relationship advice. It was like an old Sirius XM radio show of him just giving radio advice. And I used to listen to it in college at work, and it shaped a lot of the ways that I thought, for better and for worse. And it's fun to listen to. I listen to some of them now because it's like, that's horribly offensive. But that's funny. I'm trying to see if I can find a good one. Like just a good one where he just like they have callers. Does anybody in here listen to Black Phillip? Yeah, that's where I'm at with him now, man. Like the COVID stuff wasn't great. This new show he's doing, like I get it. Talib Kweli is his dude. I get it. As much as I'd love to tune in because I love Chappelle, for the reasons I said on the show, like Talib Kweli is still harassing that woman. Still harassing that black woman. If it's Sirius XM was gonna get you, that's what I'm trying to find a snippet, man. A snippet. Was Black Phillip might not have been Sirius XM as I think about it. Okay, it was XM, but before they went to Sirius. Listen, it was on Sirius XM radio, but I don't know if it was you think a 2 minute tidbit? Nah, you're right. Let me just see if I can let's see if Elephant in the Room. We won't watch the whole thing, but we can find like okay, yeah, Elephant. I just searched for Elephant in the Room. The entire thing. That's Comedy Central, though. We're gonna try a little, but not from them. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. Okay. YouTube is a hoe. YouTube would never ban me. Ban. You catch us live on Vimeo. Crowdcast in this thing. Let's just see. I don't even know which clip this is.
Look, my days are numbered, so I just want to have as much fun as possible. You know what I mean? I'm 40, and that's young in everyone else's years, but in black years, high blood pressure, diabetes. I am. If you do the black to white life ratio, I'm 177-year-old. I'm old as a mother. I'm old. And I want to live, but here's why I messed up. I messed up my young years, and I realized something.
Listen,
I'm going to tell you.
Called his own shot.
And you're trying to better yourself, just stop. You're not going to better yourself. And when I say you're not going to better yourself, I mean better yourself like go back to when you try to capture the things you used to do when you supposed to have did it, but you didn't do it. You feel me? So the stuff that you were 18 and didn't do, now you're 40 and you're going, I'm going to make a trend. It's just.
That's the gist of it. We won't go any, like, I feel like they would definitely get in on that, but that's the gist of it. And what's so wild, one, he was spot on about, like, not, I think he just knew. He just wasn't going to, like, sometimes you just know. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just know. Like, I feel that I'm not going to be 75 years old. You know what I'm saying? But the other part, like, I'm also too old to, like, learn new stuff. I told my therapist that I was like, I don't think I'm a good person, but I think I'm as good of a person as I think I've hit whatever that ceiling is. I think I've hit that ceiling. I'm gonna be live on Uber. We're gonna be on Instagram Live doing this thing. It's just the phone up my nose. I wonder. Wag be so sassy. We was in the Twitch. Wag said, I think this bit has ran its course. Wag be sassy pants. Wag he don't like that guff, fella. He don't do that guff. Fedora, man. If I could pull off a fedora, like Patrice could pull off a fedora. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the big, he was like big guy. And my thing, I'm in the middle, like you can't be like kind of fat big guy. Patrice was like 6'5", 320. I'm 6'5" today, like, because it's sad. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not always 6'5". He was always 6'5", so he was a fedora guy. And now my hair got to get longer because it got to get long enough to wear the fedora, and then you can still see the hair. I'm just saying. That's Whack always got. It comes from a good place. It always comes from a good place. My friend, dude, Jason Whitlock is not my friend. I remember Jason Whitlock found out that I had him blocked, and he tweeted about the fact that I had him blocked. And I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be a thing, isn't it? I don't think it became a thing because I had him blocked. But it might have been a thing. Whitlock, he also wear that hair on his head. You know what I mean? You can't do, like, if you got the hair on your head, you're not covering up with the fedora. And if you got the fedora, you don't got the hair on your head. You know what I mean? So Maria Taylor and Jalen Rose doing some great work from the studio. Respectfully. Did we get pulled down? I don't think we got. Okay. I think like 2 minutes of Patrice feels like. I think we can get away with about 120 seconds of anything. He really. He said. I don't remember. He said something. He was talking about Barstool. He said something about Barstool about how they didn't have any black employees. So it was like, hey, you're wrong. They've got one. It's Tyler. This was in the first headquarters. No, I guess it was HQ2, the old office. And I happened to be in New York that day, which is why I remember it, because I remember people coming up to me like, did you see what Jason Whitlock tweeted about you? And I was like, one, no, because he's blocked. And two, it can't be good. You know what I mean? Like it can't be. It's like, oh wow, Jason Whitlock had a very like reasonable and sensible take about you. It can't be good. And so he was like, I went to his page and he has me blocked. Yeah, let me see if I can. I feel like we can find that. I want to see what his exact tweet was. Yikes. This had to be 3-4 years ago. Nothing came up. What can you do? Yeah, I don't learn my lesson, man. I never have. I've never learned a single lesson, though. Not once. And see, I think we was on a run then. We was watching, like, they might have gave us the Derrick Henry highlights, and they was like cool it. And there it was a police zap out of there. At the time, Morgan was a prop. But that's why I was like, huh? We watched like a whole Derrick Henry video. I was like, if anybody gonna be a dickhead about what they want, feels like the NFL. I gotta say, I think I'm coming around on Roger Goodell. I don't think he's a good person or anything, but I don't think he's ever lied about being like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, no, listen, I work for the owners. That's what I do. Hey, I want Kaepernick back in the, hey, you know what I mean? I don't own a team. If they say they want his nigger ass out on the streets, I keep his, you know what I mean? My hand tied. You know what I mean? Yeah, but he'd be at the draft like, yeah, come on. That's my chair. In a little quarter zip. He don't pump fake. I think that's what I guess I should say I appreciate. He's no Adam Silver, is what I'm like. Nobody said Roger Goodell was gonna cure cancer, or that he was a Harvard man, or any of that. Roger Goodell's like, I'm here for this money. Adam Silver is here for the money, but he don't want you to know that he's here for the money. You know what I mean? Man, I'll be thinking about getting some of them shipments too. They do run you, but the thing you got to consider is it's just not going to taste the same frozen and in your oven as in theirs. You know what I'm saying? It's just never gonna. So like if you went to Lou Malnati's and tried it, you'd be like, oh shit, that was the frozen. Yeah, that was the frozen one times 10. Like that was much better. But yeah, they be running about. You can get like 4 pizzas, but they'd be like, yeah, it'll cost you $200. And I was like, I can just get $200 worth of Da Vinci's. There's no to his horrendous, bad, awful rap. Minimal cap. It was like, Roger, what about the guys getting CTE? Roger said, what about them? I said, Roger, what about Geno Hayes? Geno Hayes just died. Geno Hayes was 33 years old, man. I went to school, like I was texting with him about it. I went to school with people that played against Geno Hayes. And he died, his liver shut down because of all the Tylenol he was taking, because he thought those were better than the pain medicine, the shots, the pills, and all that. And they still give out like pain pills like candy in the NFL. Roger Goodell's like, yeah, no, we definitely do that. He like less maniacal. Vince McMahon never tried to sell you that he a good guy, ever once. Goodell about listen, as is Hov. Well, here's the thing. Hov's about getting his money, letting you know that he got his money, and then telling you wrongly how to get his money. Those are the 3 Hov staples now. Goodell's just about, hey man, like I'm getting to this coin, right? If they say 17 games, then we getting 17 games. You know what I mean? Y'all want to play on Thursday? Y'all want to play on Thursday night and Friday morning? Okay. All right. I work for you. And if you're an owner, I don't see how. If you're an owner, how could you hate Roger Goodell? I feel like he's done everything you've asked. I like how he backs the blue, Austin. Goodell's like, hey, I like the flag, but you know what I mean? If somebody else doesn't like it. Uh-oh. Luminati slam. Oh, somebody from Chicago finna just bust in this chat somehow and just yell at Whack and SOP. You never tried a real pizza pie. You've been eating that thin sliced garbage. I don't know how Chicagoans talk. The Bears. Did the plug hit me back yet? He dragging his feet. Listen, I wish they had the man. I've never had a problem with like just direct honesty. It's the going around it's the line like you not about the money. You know what I'm saying? It's the line like saying you not terrible. That's what I have an issue with. Goodell's like, no, this shit will turn your brains into mush. Fuck no, I wouldn't let my kids play football. Roger, do you have any old friends you could snake out of the rights to the the company you all started together? Roger's like, come to think of it, Goodell just on the cover in a black and white with the low hat. Bloody girl, you. Hypothetically, if I was interested in watching this, where might I watch it at, man? Where might I watch it? But I'm not even a UFC guy. So I don't. Nets Bucks tomorrow. They're showing Kevin Durant and Giannis. I feel like there's a decent chance neither of these guys play tomorrow. ESPN2. Let me just change the channel to something that's definitely not ESPN2. We got a UFC fight night. Oh, I missed it, man. Man, like as soon as I log off here, I just about go pass out. And I missed the dude getting slept with his head on his shoulder, man. I woke up to it though, and I still had a good laugh because he got knocked out. He definitely got knocked out. Yeah, we definitely Bryn Forbes, Bruce Brown. All right. One woman shaking her hand like she won. The other one not moving at all. They are both leaking though. They both got snakes on their shirt. I was gonna say, the one that's doing all the pumping, I feel like they don't really win that much. Like you're trying to be like, yeah, no, I definitely won. Like when they announced the boxing decision, the one that's like he pumping his fist, he throwing a few jabs, you know what I mean? That's the guy who definitely probably did not win. Carolina. She just face just bloody, just crying. That's Steve. Which like does Stephen Hawking like did he have like a scheduled tweet, or you mean like the Kirstie Alley? Ooh, she put one on her chin. The one like the one that's doing all this, probably the one that's just like this, the ones that's just like this, waiting for the score. They probably gonna win. I mean, I also missed out on the guy's leg getting broken. I ended up seeing pictures of it, of course, because the internet won't let you hide from anything. But I'm proud to say I did not see that video. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like it. First win in 2 years, so she was whooping ass with a revenge on her heart. She's definitely not speaking English, and he definitely asked her a question in English. I don't see a translator, but it doesn't mean there's not a translator. I don't see a translator at all. Yeah, I remember when Anderson Silva. When he did that a couple of years, I remember I thought it was, I swear to God, I thought it was, I was like, legs don't do that. Like what movie is this from? Because Anderson Silva, like I had heard, I was like, I know his name. I know of Anderson Silva. So I was like, what movie is this? And then I was like, they were like, no, that's real. Where he went to kick, it broke. But you step back and then you just fall because your leg is just hockey puck. And so I saw that. I hope to never see that again. It was like kicking the guy. Damn, full circle. There's no way they have a translator here. There he is. Okay. I literally heard the translator for the last question, so I'm just glad there was one. Meg live in South Carolina. It'd be a UFC fighter, an NFL player. I lean toward NFL. Like, I feel like all UFC players get their ass whooped. Not all the NFL, you know what I'm saying? Some of them are all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kicker, punter, all the UFC guys get punched in the chest, knee, in the ear. Also, how much do UFC people make? Like, how much does Anderson? I don't know if Anderson Silva fight. Yeah, like that. How much do they make, big man? Talk like who's I know John Jones because he's Chandler Jones' brother and Arthur Jones' brother. I know Daniel Cormier, Anderson Silva. I don't know if he still fights. Francis Ngakwe. Like how much do those guys make? Jake Paul, yeah, Jake Paul said I make more than this on the tube, man. Yeah, I think I definitely combined because he looked like a defensive end to me. Like if you told me the Francis, the UFC guy, if you told me he played like some defensive end for the Chargers, I'd be like, that's Melvin Ingram. That's definitely what he looked like. Started with CT mindset and then get actual. Yeah, NFL. Yeah, I think you start on the straight, trying to be on the straight and narrow, then you end up like Antonio Brown, man, just lost your fucking mind. Jake Paul. What did Jake Paul say today? Is Jake Paul or is Floyd Mayweather really fighting one of the Paul brothers? Because I'll say the thing I do like about UFC, and it's something that I remember Wody told me this a while ago because he's a big UFC guy. He was like, listen, like the top dogs, if they say they're gonna fight in UFC, they're gonna fight. In boxing, like we ain't see Mayweather Pacquiao. You'll see Mayweather Pacquiao 10 years after nobody cared. Like, you know what I'm saying? The top dogs will never fight each other. But UFC, hey, because if you're the top dog and you 3-2 and I'm 2-1, we gonna fight. We would definitely scrap it out. Like now, like when people want to see it. So boxing push shit down the line. I got two brothers that don't want to fight each other. Like 65 players taken in the NFL draft from the SEC. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I believe if they announce it this far, like I kept seeing like there are talks of Jake, one of the Paul brothers, to fight Floyd Mayweather. Oh, Floyd not, man. I don't. Floyd a bad guy. I don't know anything about the Paul guy, but they just feel like bad guys. They just almost certainly feel like bad people. I'd be fine if they just knocked each other out. Like I'd watch, but I don't think I'd have a rooting interest. I don't think I'd have a rooting. Yeah, let me see. Floyd Mayweather. Logan. He's fighting Logan, apparently. How much money could they each earn? Because if Floyd doing it, it's some cash in it. June. Okay, yeah, this is happening in like a month. I can respect the hell out of that. I can respect because like if they announce this in boxing, be like, yeah, they're gonna fight. It'll be Cinco de Mayo next year. We have to pump this up for a year. Cinco de Mayo next year. This they're like, we fight. Yeah, let's do it in 6 weeks. Let's do it literally next month. I like that. I do like that. Let's see. I want to see. They're talking about some shmoney. Mayweather's been unwilling to publicly state the exact figures of what he'll get, but rumors are his opponent could be looking at around a $10 million windfall. We got to look at $35 million for 12 rounds or $100 million for 6 rounds. That's what I'm saying. If Logan Paul is getting $10 million, then I was gonna say Floyd's probably getting 3 times that. Like Floyd not stepping in. Not only you're not going to out earn him, you're not going to come close to that. He's the name here. Even though I'm certain Logan Paul has more YouTube subscribe, like YouTube followers. For he ain't reading none. Listen, like literally and figuratively, he's not reading through his deals. He can't. He literally can't. Jake Paul said, "Why did I make more my third boxing fight than all but 2 UFC fighters in their history?" I know Dana White's a big bootstraps guy, but yeah. So how much is Jake Paul getting in these fights? He got 690,000 for knocking out Nate Robinson. That don't feel right. That don't feel right. This feel like okay. This says millions. He ain't doing nothing for no thousands no more. I think them boys way past that. They ain't doing nothing for no thousands, even hundreds of thousands. Floyd Mayweather for your show your stripes movement. And normally I don't like the. That's why it's never really been like making fun like somebody can't like read well. You know what I'm saying? Because some people I've seen like really can read well and have trouble reading. Difficulty reading it aloud. Some people do have literacy issues, so I don't think it's that funny. Unless if you're a bad person, like I didn't have any problem laughing at Floyd Mayweather not being able to read. I didn't have any issue with that. Like we found out Trump couldn't read. I'd laugh like shit at that. Yeah, it ain't about the money. He's just a bad guy. But again, the money don't have, like because how much? Okay. Ooh, got ourselves a banner. Best friend worker. Hold on now. Megan might be the plug now. How much money would it take to sell your ability to read? You can never functionally read again. How much? I'm going to get some more drink. We'll be back. I want you to think about this. Because I was like, listen, Floyd Mayweather making $50 million a fight. I can read, not well, like ninth grade level, you know what I'm saying? I can read, but I traded for 50 million. So I'll ask you guys what you think. We'll be back. All right, I'm back. I want some answers. Hold up. I want some answers, baby. How much to sell your ability? Because people, I'd sell it for 10 million, then hire somebody to teach me how to read. No. That's not how this works. Let me see what I missed. What did I miss? I'm just saying something to think about. See, let's say, why I said this one's actually fun. I love whack. LaMelo whack on cloud 52, man. Hey, Lamar said 10 mil, no questions asked. Next question? What else you got, Whiskey? You can never. When I say like functionally, I mean like you can, like your name and stuff, of course. Like probably like the days of the week, mom, dad, like you know what I'm saying. But like, what was it? Dexter. There was a Washington bad name. What was his name? Dexter something. Dexter Manley. Dexter Manley played in the NFL. And let me see. Yeah, like he won 2 rings, made a Pro Bowl, made 2 All-Pros teams. He's in the 80 greatest Washington Redskins players of all time. And I think he said he didn't learn how to read till he was like 30. I just misspelled illiterate. It's like the guy reading the book. Do I have this disease? Let me see. I'm trying to see. I know he said he was definitely grown. Like he's like, I definitely got through college and couldn't read. Drug use. So this guy was very cool. Here we go. When you play football in the state of Texas, you're like God, says Manley. We're driving around Washington, D.C.'s notorious Beltway as he recounts how he ended up at age 29 reading at only a 2nd grade level. So that's what I mean by like functionally. You can read this stuff like a cat, dog, biscuit, or whatever. I don't know what 2nd graders read. But like those things. Growing up a superior athlete in Houston, Manley learned quickly he could charm his way through most situations. He always went to class and sat in the front. He was polite and well-behaved, so his teachers kept passing him. He was eventually diagnosed with a learning disability and was placed in special ed where playing with blocks took the place of reading and writing. When he ended up in middle school with no special ed classes, he fell even further behind. His illiteracy followed him to Oklahoma State, where his perfect attendance and charm combined with his athlete status saw him through. He faked it when he needed to read something in class. When he had to sign forms, he filled out his name and address and had someone else do the rest. When you're a good football player, you don't have to do too much of anything for yourself. But when it came to learning the playbook, his disability caught up with him. At 253 pounds, he ran a 4.5 40. Jesus. So he caught the eye of the coaching staff. He was on special teams. He's like, but on special teams, there weren't any plays. When I came to DC in 1981, I could not get off this beltway because I couldn't read and write. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to get off. I didn't know where to live. Yeah, he said he would ride with other people and they would tell him how to get by. So he was 29, 30 years old. And it's really sad, but it's something that you can even make it that far, right? Like, what does that say just about this education system? As he's a nice guy. He literally can't read or write, but tough scene. All right, now let's see these answers. Mark said 10 milli, 5 to 10. Hey, you know what? And I feel like a lot of the articles, they have the option, like you click the button and they'll read it to you. You know what I mean? So my low level of literacy could definitely be bought. I think I functionally read. Listen, there's nothing functional about reading anything on Twitter. So simple and plain. Enough money where I'm rich, but can't blow through it super fast. You definitely can't blow 25 million. And I'll be your lawyer, broads. Dynasty. Dinah said, I'm with 10. He said maybe 5. He cut it $5 whole million. The whole amount he was willing to give up his literacy for. He took that off the top. Like if you do it right, if you throw it in right now, if you take my ability to read right now, you can take it for half off. I can't read. I fucked them. There's a lot of people that can read and fuck the money up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I said because he's gotten back on his feet. Like, I don't think Antoine Walker's problem was literacy. He was living outside his means. He was trying to, you know what I'm saying, gambling with the big dogs, trying to do what they did. I don't think it was literally. He was reading just fine. It was the comprehension. The day CJ get cut, he just immediately get his ability to read again. These triple-digit millions. Can you teach yourself? Nope. Never. Yep. That's why I said, because I knew y'all, I'd teach myself to read again. My wife was a teacher. She'd teach me. I'd buy a new brain. Nope. You can never. Yeah, you would be where Floyd Mayweather's at right now. Like, yeah. He read through that promo, right? It was a journey. It was a journey. Need at least 100 mil. Yeah, listen, Diner said I'd do it for $42. Diner said I'll do it right now for a hot lunch. Video game because you can't read the control. Nobody read the control. I just like, hey, press this button. The button that look like this, press that one. When you're trying to jump, press the, like, you know what a triangle is. Like, let's say, like, second. Dexter Manley said he was in second grade. That is so wild to me, man. Damn. I'm back on it. It said Manley considered himself functional until teammate Joe Theismann's career-ending injury in '85 shook him up. I was ashamed and embarrassed. I was in belligerent. They're using words like belligerent now. He said, I didn't want to face that stuff because I was comfortable looking at my shoelaces. At least I thought I was until I watched that man go down. He says he watched Theismann on the ground. He realized how fast everything could change for him. If football ended, what would he do? He began taking classes at the Washington Lab School in '87. 2 years later, he achieved a 10th grade reading level, studied through his suspension, worked with a tutor, and he was no longer literate. Manley began hanging out with the younger players, some of whom were doing drugs. They were frequent strip clubs where Manley had flashbacks to the woman in the G-string who got him into cocaine back in '82. Every relapse I've ever had was because of a woman, he said. Pointing the finger, undefeated. She put it up my nose, Your Honor. 50 grand, real. Billy, Floyd D. 10 million. If I can't read, listen, it's people that can read. They're still getting taken out like that. I never have to read on camera. 125 million. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you would still be living your same life, right? So if you're reading on camera right now, then yeah. But if it's like if you never read on camera right now, 500 mil, y'all asking kind of a lot. Imagine having to yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. You could read at 100th grade level, and somebody that reads at 101st grade level is going to take advantage or try. Oh my God. I went to all the colleges. I did too, and I'm a year older than you. Trust me, Austin. Think how much you read. I'm reading right now. Like that. I think that's the wild thing. Like I would need reading is a good bit of my livelihood. I don't do it well, but I do it often. I do it often. So that's one of those. I'm gonna need at least 100,000. Nah, I'm gonna need some bread for that. Yeah, days of the week, months, like your own name. You probably know, like, you could recognize like your close family's name. If your mom named Geraldine, if you see Geraldine, hey, that says Geraldine. I know that because that's my mother. You know what I'm saying? Say you're gonna need that trout money. Do you know numbers? I would say let's go back to whatever numbers you know. What numbers do you know in second grade? Right? You can count as high as you want. Do you know what to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys say, what's after 257? 258? What's 258 minus 4? Ah! You know? Nah. They probably know that. I don't like how much you need to do ask questions on Twitter. That things are actually possible. See? Even Sassy Whack like this one. Not being able to read. Listen, I'll pay somebody else. Please get me out of this hellhole. 10th grade reading level in 2 years. I mean, listen, he went from 2nd to 10 in 2 years as a millionaire when he was like winning Super Bowls and doing coke. That's impressive. That's really impressive. What's up, Hugh? Hey, Hugh. Yeah. Answer the question, Hugh. How much money would it take for you to sell your ability to read? Function. You can never function. The words you know in like 2nd grade, Hugh. The word, whatever you know in 2nd grade, that's just what you got for life, dude. Like, you recognize, like, okay, that says, okay, you see the little peace sign? That's a Mercedes. I can afford one of those. I can't read the word, but I know that I'm Nike. That's the check. That's the company. That's our uniforms. You know what I'm saying? You can piece together stuff like that. But if your pick'ems tonight, listen, if you ain't fading me, you probably not hitting them. Now I gotta watch the see. Now you gotta watch the game. Yeah, this is real deal shit, man. I live in the Caribbean. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of, it might functionally be like that, right? Like just living in a country, somebody just dropped you off in a country where you don't know like after a while, okay, that's a stop sign, right? Okay. Like, I don't know what that color is, but when it's that color on that big stop lighty thing, the cars go. And when it's that other color, they don't go. Right? Like, you don't have to read to be able to do that. You can just, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if you can walk into a restaurant and I want that. Do you want this? No. Extra that. Like, I feel like you could kind of piece it together. You said 100 mil. I respect it. I'm really trying to think. The number I had in my head was about 50 mil. Was about 50 mil. And I think I would just accessibility everything else. I feel like, like if you want to, okay, whatever, like TV, if you hit the mute button 5 times, it'll ask you if you want to read shit to you. Like, yes, always. That's what I always want. I feel like it just take a whole lot of prep, man. I feel like you would have to, like, if you go into a restaurant, you would have to, you just have to try. You be like, I have what he's having. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you just out to dinner. You ever been out to dinner at a place where you don't know what's what, but you can't really ask what's what? Raise your hand. It's when you kind of just got to trust what you just kind of look around. But you can't ask like you can ask like one or two things, you know what I'm saying? But you can't ask what like okay. You said that was the Parmesan de linguine le bolognese de la. Now, what did you mean by Parmesan? Okay, and by day, okay, and shrimp. What were you getting at there? Like you can't do that for every single thing. So at a certain point, you just gotta look around, like, oh, what is she having? That looks more. I'll have that. They be like, that's swordfish. 2 swordfish for the table. Everybody's eating. And you just gotta pretend you like it. Being very broke. I didn't have money to me. Listen, that's where it happened. I was at an Italian restaurant in Miami. Like one of them, they hand rolled the pasta in the store and all that. And I swear, the only thing I recognized on the menu was spaghetti and meatballs. And what got me off the hook, he listed everything. He was like, the spaghetti and meatballs is the only thing not made in the house. And I was like, I'll take that because I knew what it was. He was like, are you sure? That's the only thing we don't. I was like, I misheard you. I thought you said you made that in house, my man. And then he was like, I would recommend this. And he told me what it was. And I was like, that sounds marvelous. And it was good. It had some octopus in it. That shit was good though. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you could play it off, you can play it off. But I was sweating through my shirt. I just picked food at it right. Hey, listen, that's why you really just got to learn root words. You just got to learn some root words. Like okay, pollo, huh? Okay, that's like, okay, if it's chicken and noodles, I can work around chicken and like, you know what I'm saying? If I don't love it, and I'll eat some bread, I have a glass of wine, we'll get some dessert, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of fake your way through a meal. Order shit I don't like, being too proud to add. I have before, not anymore, dude. Not anymore. I'll be like, what is this? Huh? Now, like, you mean like octopus? Is it good? 50 minutes. Rich enough to handle logistics, not so rich that people won't claim. That's my plan. Like, I've done pretty well at isolating myself from people not on the internet now. With 50 mil, I think I could just completely isolate myself. It's like, hey, man, they saying you can't read on the internet. Well, I can't read. Good. That's one of, if you had a place where you can't just pull out, like if you were dinner like with some friends, then who care? It was like a fake like business whatever dinner. Like, you can't just what is just got added to the close friends. Can't wait to see somebody eat fruit in the morning. 50 meals in isolate. Oh, I disagree. There. I think you could definitely isolate for 50 mil, Rick. It's just one, like, I could tell my family and they don't care. I think you could definitely isolate for 50 mil. Y'all work. Yeah, Whack don't like it. Mayweather got more than 50. Listen, dude, Mayweather, he get 50 mil a fight. He might make 50 million next month. Yeah, okay, yeah. What is isolation rich to you, Whack? Because I think that one, like, I feel like I could definitely isolate Rich. What's isolation rich to you, Whack, and to you, Lamar? I want to hear the two sides. Isolate, like, if I'm living in either whatever it is, apartment, house, condo, right, where it's just like, hey, the grass needs cutting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think it goes. Okay, so what is isolation to you all? I also think it depends on where you at, right? I just know, dude, in the South, 50 man, 5 million might be isolation money in the South. Move to Birmingham and live like a king. That's what I'm saying. If you live in Atlanta, now if you living in Cali, if you living in New York, if you live in overseas, I think that varies. I'm not leaving here. So I took it like that's what I said, like everybody, your job would still be the same, right? Like if I just couldn't read anymore, I still know how to get the places I know how to get. Right? Like the place, you know how to get to the gas station, right? It's not because you read take a right on Main Street, take a left. It's just because, okay, I just know if I go here, I get to the gas station. McDonald's is over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? You've got your, that's why I said functional. Functional is kind of a catch-all. We got Randa Marcos versus Luan. Brazil got a lot of fighters. 50 million. Yeah. Like, dude, worst come to worst, you just move to Jackson, Mississippi, just live like a king, because nobody can read there either. Nah, what's up, Jackson? I don't want them problems. I don't want, because it's like people that can't read, they don't have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want them. Just kidding. I'm trying to literate person. Let me get this one. Hey, sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, but nah, 50. Listen, if I like you get a nice enough car, right? Because it'd be like, okay, hey, your car broke down. What's wrong with it? Carburetor shocks and struts. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to read to know what that is. It's going to cost this much to fix it. Sign here. Okay. Like, you know, you don't know if they ripping you off anyway. Okay. You have to pay for the auxiliary required for your non-reading that. That's what you just get. Listen, if you, we might have to pull that up. Please tell me y'all saw me retweeting that women were saying what kind of hygiene stuff they dealt with men. You find you a woman like that, free. He can't read, but he brushes his teeth and washes his ass. It's a low bar, man. It's a low bar. Like, look, he's really nice. He comb his hair and he take a shower every day. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. I don't know if I can find it. Let me go right to the ladies page. Okay. This thread was from Olani, Oloni. She is apparently from overseas. She has 211,000 followers, so she's doing big business. And so she says, ladies, let's have some blah blah. You know how it goes. I want to know about the worst hygiene you have ever experienced with a man during intimacy or casually. DM me, all stories will be anonymous. Roby, my brother, listen, it's one of those, I'm gonna have to make you opt. I'm gonna have to make you do a capture. Like, are you sure you want to hear these stories? Okay, tell me all the street lights in this picture. Okay. Tell me all the motorcycles in this. Like, are you? Because this stuff was filthy, man. It was really filthy. But listen, the bar lowered in hell. It was a. I think it was worse than that. I think it was worse than the shoes off tweet. It's one thing if you're being nasty. It's another if you like. We'll get to. We'll just read it. Just a couple of these. I got to find some of the good ones. Some of them are good. Some of them are good. Dear Olani, this is my moment, I tell you. My ex had no personal hygiene. We started as a long distance relationship where when I saw him, he would always be clean and freshly showered. Oh, how that changed when we moved in together. To the point I refused to have sex and I couldn't get wet because his whole being stunk. Like, don't get me started on his breath. I would run him showers, baths, and put toothpaste on his toothbrush to make him clean because it was revolting. And he wouldn't look after himself. He made me physically sick. I had to leave because ain't no way I'm staying with a grown-ass man 14 years my senior who can't look after himself. Please keep Anon. What you mean staying with a man? Staying? That was the funniest part, Roby, about all these. They was like, listen, 6 years into the relationship, I just could not take it anymore. After I introduced him to my parents, enough was enough. It gets worse. I got to find some of the... My ex, again, ex. She said cat. It ain't never... Hey, I went on a first date, man. Like, hey, I went on a first date. This nigga, he had bad breath, right? That's not your fault. Your ex? Come on now. Bad breath is like the first thing you notice and the last thing you remember people when you was like 4 or 5 years old that had bad breath. You're like, oh man, Miss So-and-so from the church died? Damn, she was nice. Her breath stank, but she was nice. My ex had revolting oral hygiene. I didn't notice at first, presumably because he would make an effort to brush his teeth or use gum during the initial stages, but eventually his breath would be so bad it would make me gag next to him. As in, I'd be set next to him in bed, minding my business, and the smell he was breathing into my atmosphere would make me ill. He also smelled heavily of BO buildup down there, so I know he wasn't washing himself thoroughly. He showed his true colors as being unemployed, homeless, and a cheat not too long into the relationship and not long after all this started to be a problem. So luckily I got rid, but it still haunts me. And on top of everything, some men have a sexy natural scent, but he absolutely did not. He showed his true colors as being unemployed, homeless, and a cheat. Listen, if this man was legitimately homeless, did he not have a place to bathe? Like, real deal. Hi, Olani. I've been seeing my man for about 4 months. I'd gone over to his to spend a couple of days. When I first got there, I saw he'd run out of toothpaste, hand soap, and shower gel. So I just bought all those things from the corner store and didn't say anything. After being there for about 3 days, I noticed this guy hadn't showered. It took you 3 days to notice a nigga ain't shower? Come on, man. Like, I noticed it took me 3 days. I noticed this guy hadn't showered. I'm not being funny. I was so incredibly disgusted. He smelled so bad. I literally had to hold my breath around him. I wasn't even trying to be polite. And I kept asking him when he was going to shower. And he just kept saying, soon. Nigga, what? Yeah, he ran. Yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You should have came last week. I had all the things that people use. Deodorant. I had that too. Yeah, soon. Oh, somebody's knocked out. What do you mean the fight? This woman is laying on the ground just looking up, and after a while, he was like, "No, I think she's definitely out." The winner's crying. This doesn't feel good. I didn't even see the hit, but she's clearly out of there. Okay, this one's a little foul. This was a little foul. Okay. So I was talking to this guy for a bit, and he invited me to his home. Now, I didn't like how this man dressed, his hair, or the high level of plaque on his teeth. Yo, are y'all watching UFC? She just got kicked in the chin. Wow. That put her light. It's one of those, like, she wasn't unconscious, but her lights was out. Like she was just on the ground like a turtle on his back. Let me finish the story. You guys are so rude. Let me finish the story. I didn't like how this man dressed, his hair, or the high level of plaque on his teeth. But he was a nice guy, so I was willing to overlook these things. So we met and went to Sainsbury's because he was going to cook for me. And I'm just getting this strong smell of wet dog in the air. As I wondered where I was coming from, I realized he was the wet dog. So we went back to his house. And despite the way my nose was being offended, we did knock boots. It was disgusting. His saliva was thick as hell. I don't know if I can finish this one, man. Thick slobber. His saliva was thick as hell, so kissing him wasn't gross. And please tell me why, when I start sucking his dick, I'm tasting piss. It's actually a piss tape because I know when I'm going to be intimate with someone, I shave, exfoliate, moisturize 3 times. But my man couldn't even take a quick shower or wash under his hood properly. Needless to say, I had to end things with him after this experience. That's what it took. That's what it took. Oh, the girl that got that's a illegal. I didn't know there was an illegal kick. I'll be completely honest with you. Damn. That yeah, no, that put her out immediately. Listen, here I saw a lot of people saying this. Here's your problem, broads. If you're brushing your teeth, stop. If you washing your ass, cut it out. Because here's the thing, and I saw women saying like, "Oh, like men wouldn't sleep with anything." Absolutely right. One time, 3 times at most. It wouldn't be no relationship though. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be now. That's absurd. That's absurd. Um, I didn't see this one. My ex got his own place about 6 months into our relationship. He was not house proud at all. To the point where I would go around and cook, he couldn't. And I'd end up cleaning the whole kitchen with several days of backlog while he sat on his useless behind. Used to have to tell him to wash his bed sheets because he'd leave them on till they literally smelled like beef hula hoops. One time I stayed around and noticed he'd ran out of hand wash, so he used a bit of shower gel. Wouldn't ask when he ran out. He said a few days ago. So I asked what he's been washing his hands with after shitting. He looked embarrassed and said, "Oh, hot water." I had to use my burner. I dated a guy in my early 20s. We were long distance, so whenever I would visit him, that's when I started to see it. I just want you just pay attention to the verbiage. Okay. I would never sell my ability to read because then you can't read these context clues. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna start counting them out as I see them. I dated a guy in my early 20s. You too old for that. We were long distance, so whenever I would visit him, that's when I started to see it because I stayed with him. Everything was dirty from his body to his room. I'm talking unwashed bed sheets and dust under the bed. This guy was a big guy as well, so you can imagine the sweat. His idea of washing was a wet towel and sink. I remember one time I visited him and had enough, so I asked him to replace his pillows that had gone gray/brown with filth. This guy refused and actually argued with me over this. I am ashamed to say I slept on them with just some cloth over and actually got sick. I got a cold sore. Also want to add this guy wore tattered boxers. Duh. Boxers you can buy cheap even from Primark. I'm guessing these are all British stores. Not even my proudest experience. Duh. Wait. Listen. Oh my God. He was a mass murderer. And could you believe he littered? Like what? He was a serial arsonist. And he sped. He would go 75 and a 65. That's against the rules. Hey, listen. Hey, Flores, you know, we always welcome you in. I'm just telling you right now, just I'm gonna give you a second to get out. Did y'all see all the red flags? We literally got up to 10. I was losing fingers over these red flags, man. See, she started teasing some of them to get people over to her Instagram. And now people like, they be like, oh, some of these are fake. I was like, hey, some of them probably are. Some of these are real, though. They're not all fake. They're not all fake. Hey, Alani. So one time I was giving head to a guy, and he asked me to open my mouth so he could spit in it. He formed a spit bubble, so she said yes, which was orange. And before he could spit in my mouth, I immediately went, whoa. And he was like, what? And then, wait, is my mouth bleeding? And when I said yeah, he said, oh, it does that sometimes. Listen. She was with it, though. You see what I'm saying? She was with it. She was with the shits. I'm just putting that out there. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's one in particular that I really want to find. This isn't it, but it's another good one. Politely told my ex he needs better oral hygiene. Should have just left then. His teeth desperately needed braces anyway, so this made everything much worse. That's not his fault, you know what I mean? Ended up buying him expensive toothbrush, taught him to floss and mouthwash because he clearly didn't know how. He still didn't do it without being reminded. Anyway, he ended up cheating, and genuinely, that itself made him pretty easy to move on from. That's what it was? Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Bro said he never buying it. He finna throw all this deodorant in the tray. Bro, if you spending a whole lot of money on cologne, bro, you gotta feel like a fucking dickhead, man. About to walk out. Now here's the thing, you can't do that. That make you a creep. You just got to let them smell your funky breath. You got to let them smell your funky breath. And they be like, ooh. That's how they do. I got to find at least the one. This isn't it either. I'll let you know when I find it, I promise. Because there's one in particular I have in mind. Girl, exclamation point. I was in a relationship with this man and we decided to have shower sex. Now, when it's all said and done, we're in the shower, so I'm still definitely going to clean myself still. We get out, start having sex again. When we take a break, he scoots off the bed. I think you see where this is going. Mind you, we're in a hotel and the sheets were white. This man scoots off the bed and leaves boo-boo marks on the sheets. It was disgusting. Just to find out later that he never wiped correctly and his underwear always had stains in it. Tragic. Later, you see what I'm saying? Listen, I'd trade the ability to read words in a minute if I could still read like context clues. If I could still read context clues, like, hey, man. She was like, oh, what can you, hey, listen, sometimes you just scoot across hotel sheets and leave skid marks. What can you do? You know what I mean? Later. I'm about to, Braw's gonna be on this, he's gonna spray that Pepe Le Pew twice under his neck. Flores, are you still here? Didn't we tell you to beat it, kid? Skedaddle. Surely you got literally anything better to be doing. Oh, listen, Lamar, it's pretty self-explanatory. I will not stop until I find the one I'm looking for. Oh, I didn't even see this one. Oh, Lonnie, this one ex-friend of mine introduced me to a guy in New York. Super sweet guy. He love bombed me quick, and we began dating long distance. Mind you, there are 500 red flags here, but I flew out to see him last August, paid for the hotels and everything, since he was a broke law student. And when I first kissed him, he tasted disgusting. I was like trying to convince myself because it had been a few months since I'd been with someone until I saw the inside of his mouth during the weekend. That man had black streaks on the, it don't even finish. We don't even need to finish it. We don't even need, like, she said, like, read more on the Instagram. I don't need to read that. I don't need to read no more of that. But I have to, like, this is so disheartening. Hey, Meg went quiet. Meg went radio silent, didn't she? Where Meg at? Meg said, I mean, did the Braves play? Y'all don't want to talk about nothing else? Where Meg at? Oh, man. This is goddamn disgusting. Hold up. Hi, Olani. I once had an ex-boyfriend who started off really clean and always made an effort with his appearance. About 6 months in, he started to get really lax and stopped showering daily, even though he worked a physical job. One time I commented on the fact his bed sheets smelled musty. He told me that he only changes them when he starts to get spots on his neck. He used to smoke in his flat and had a real bad damp problem. All through the winter, his bed sheets would be constantly damp and cold due to the room not being ventilated properly. I spent 80 pounds, I don't know how much it is, on cleaning supplies and spent a whole weekend cleaning the place to come in a couple days later and finding an absolute shithole again. Luckily, the relationship didn't last much longer after he started showing his true colors. After he started showing his true colors. Honestly, I feel embarrassed typing this out, but I was young and naive and clearly needed to learn a lesson about what I deserve. Listen. You will never learn that lesson. If that's your starting point, you will never learn that lesson. You will never learn that lesson. I'm getting physically ill now. I just got to find. This is a bad one. Yeah, right. Right. His fake colors were there. He was a slob. His true colors were that. You said where? Which school? Which? I think these ladies overseas, man. Hey Taylor, listen, Taylor, get the fuck out of here, man. I'll say that it's not your fault. Just leave, man. Just leave. These ladies over the pond, Hugh. Yeah, Megan back. Yeah, aren't these girls nasty? I was giving my ex head. He stood in front of me while I sat on the edge of the bed. He asked me to put a finger in his bum, which of course I did, or rather was about to do. As soon as I touched his booty hole, it just felt very mushy. And when I looked at my finger that I was about to put in his booty hole, there was a sweet corn stuck to it with a side serving of poo. It's been 7 years, but I haven't been able to play with another man's booty hole ever since. I was sleeping with one of these Twitter DJs. Start counting fingers and toes, nigga. One day he invited me over to his house. I entered the house, but it was smelling like piss, but I formed it. Went upstairs to the bedroom, and oh my God, the pillows were flat and had baubles on them. The mattress didn't have a sheet. The duvet was half out, the cover and the ball at the end of the bed. And I'm not, there's no point in finishing that. Okay, I really just want to find the one. Okay, I didn't even see that, but this might be it. Won't even go into it. Let's just say the man gave me scabies, chlamydia, and clinical depression. We only linked for a few months. Just a few months. DJ, hey, he gonna unfollow you and refollow you back for that, man. Chill out. It was only a few months. A few months. Here's the thing. Here's what I wonder. One, all the people who didn't tell story. Two, they like when you tell a bad story about yourself, you're gonna lie to make it seem not as bad. They was probably married for 6 years. She was like, "Oh, listen, girl, it was a few months. She had scabies." I've got to find that one. It's about the only one I'm looking for now. These are so foul, dude. You know what? Oh, I found it. I was literally about to say I give up, and I just found it. This is the last one. This is literally the only one I ever wanted to find. No, last one, Hugh. Last one. Read it. It might be the last thing I read because I can't read. Oh, honey, I went on a date with it. No, I can't. I can't do that in the Vince boy. This is the one I was looking for though. Oh my God, Olani. I went on a date with this guy. We went bowling and then to dinner. We were wearing masks most of the time. This is recent. Like this was no 1992. Not that that make it better. This is recent. We wore masks most of the time, so I thought it was all good. He lives an hour from me, so I told him he could stay the night at mine. When we got to my apartment, I took off my mask and I just noticed the scent. I thought maybe his feet were damp. He came close to me and I swear the smell nearly burnt my nostrils. I tried to manage it. He now started scratching his balls. His whole body was smelling, even his mouth. In over 30 minutes, he went to pee 5 or 6 times. He asked if he could kiss me and came so close that my eyes watered. This is literally the only part I wanted to read. Even when he left in the morning, he left the stench in my bed. That's the one I wanted to find. This is a 28-year-old man. I had to block him on everything after that. That's the one I wanted to find. That's the only one I wanted to find. Even when he left in the morning, he left the stench in my bed. And it was a woman that quote tweeted, "Oh, you didn't read the part where he said he lived an hour away." Listen. An hour's not that far. You know what I mean? An hour's not that far, right? An hour's not that far. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he lived 17 hours. Okay, listen, he could sleep on the couch. You know what I'm saying? She said, "Hey, he lived 60 whole minutes away. What could I say?" Yeah, he slept in the bed. And I saw people was like, I mean, just because he slept in the bed don't mean they slept together. I was like, listen, this ain't, I'll say if you let somebody sleep in your bed that leaves a stench like that, I'd hope you got some dick out of it. You know what I mean? Like, I'd hate you did all that for nothing. Like, maybe at least he blew your back out, pulled your hair a little bit. Oh yeah, we're done. That's the only one I want. I mean, not the only one, but that's the one. He went to pee 5 or 6 times. Girl, you know I'm drunk. You know I'm drunk. You didn't hear him just screaming in the bathroom as he pissed. Ah! It burns, Austin. Hey, Whack, he lived an hour away. You know what I'm saying? What could he do? He lived a whole hour away. Yeah, listen, Whack knew as soon as I start. Yeah, listen, when you count them up, it's like, how do you? Is this seriously? Is this victim shaming? Because I'm like, listen, I'm not even mad at him. I'm mad at you. He's a filthy nigga. He's established this several times over. So, all right, Whack. That's enough out of you. Don't you got some bets to follow? And LaMelo warming up. You want these type of women hitting your? These are the type of women you want hitting your line, Robin. These type of women you want being able to come in contact with you. You see it, yeah? Cause I got some advice for him. Yeah, I bet you do. That was I'm so glad. I was gonna say discouraged. I was really getting disgusted because I was looking for some of them. I sent that to so many, like 3 women. Just like women friends of mine like, hey, read this. And they was like, fuck you. I was like, okay, I'll read it to you. And I would just, I had a blast with that thread. I want to advise them to do, but yeah, you know, play it like me. I always brush my teeth, baby. That's what I agree 100%. You cannot. It ain't no like people say. Oh, the sex must listen. If the sex is that good, keep it far away from me, dog. Keep that far away from me. I don't. I'm about to listen. Send this to all. And like, listen. When I say like female, I mean like legit female, not the ones you fucking are trying to fuck. Because I feel like it's better that way. You'd be like, hey, because they be sending me all types of stuff on how men ain't shit, and I'm like, hey, what can you do? Oh, but when the tables turn, baby, when those fucking tables turn, baby, I send the thread, baby, ribeye, potatoes, beans. You feel me? See now, Meg said, listen, I learned my. I only went out with him 7 months. Yeah, y'all. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I'd never leave you like I left the Toronto Raptors, baby. That's what Roby say. Listen, go forth and be blessed. See, that's how you know. It's how you know that she knew. You know what I'm saying? That's something telling your body this is flag on the play. You know what I mean? Okay, one more. I'm gonna pick one at random. I'm just scrolling, and whichever one I get, we're gonna read. Oh, this is a two-part. This is a two. I haven't read this one, so I don't know how this one ends. Talk to this guy for a couple of weeks. I'm counting even though I haven't read it, I'm counting the red flags already. End up going to his crib, and as soon as I walked in, I was mortified. This man lived so dirty, and I was surprised because his personal hygiene wasn't bad at all. Listen, personal hygiene is never something I wanted. It wasn't bad. Oh, you met with, how was Whisker's personal hygiene? It wasn't bad. You know what I mean? I'm talking about years of untreated stains on the raggedy ass carpet, floors that hadn't been swept in months, if that. Bathroom was so disgusting and full of mold and mildew. God knows how long of use it had without being clean. I literally sat on the corner of the couch and texted the group chat and texted another FB, I don't know, Facebook, friend bitch who lived nearby to go over there instead because I was actually frightened by the state of his home. He tried to argue, saying it was his roommates that lived like that. He wasn't going to clean up after them. I just made the point that his bedroom was just as bad. He gave me a quick tour in the beginning. I just want to know if other women were okay with that, if he was really trying my ass. I swear to God, I didn't read this before. Worst part is I still fucked him after that. I just make him get hotel rooms. That might be like I appreciate y'all watching, man. Stay safe. Like use hotel rooms. It was it's an old joke by Adam Carolla, who I was gonna say went off the deep. Maybe he always did. He would read like wild stuff about women. He's like, women complain about making 75 cents to our dollar, and he would read something like that and be like, it's way too much. It's way too much. I think about that joke when I read stories like these. Yeah, so God, listen, we off that. If you brushing your teeth, you behind the curve. deodorant, face wash, all that. We off that. Clean clothes, clean house. If you got a vacuum, if you got a mop, if you got a broom, washer and dry, sell it. Sell it. But here's the thing. Because again, she made him get. You gonna trust him? You trust him with that responsibility? That's how y'all end up at the Ramada Inn with just beads, no door, just beads. She said month. That's the last one. I didn't read because that was a two-parter, and I didn't read any of the two-parters. They will type out exactly how it went wrong and how they knew it was going wrong, and be like, I can't believe I fell into his trap for 7 months. Man, oh man, I'll put why you don't want the chat to get no hoes, Chris? Why you don't want the I'm gonna try. I'm gonna post links don't post in here for some reason. I'm gonna break it up though. Let's see. And we'll see if it okay, there we go. If that, let me make sure. Yeah, if that posted, just remove the space and you in there. It won't let me post links for some reason, but that's the whole kit and caboodle, man. But they was they was at the Super 8. We'll leave the light on for you. Bloom, 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 bloom. He lived a whole hour away. I can't remember. What's the longest you drove for some respecting? I respect Omen. No, I think you go there right now. Here's Jordan. That's gonna backfire because you're gonna show her that, and then she's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, that reminds me of the guy I dated before you. He wouldn't brush his teeth. I never saw him take a bath the 4 years we were together." And you're gonna be like, "Bitch, you live like this?" Yeah, bathing trick y'all, man. Soap trick y'all. 6 hours? Damn. Okay, okay. In one, I'll say like, okay, like it's one. If you drive in 9 hours, but you staying for a weekend. Okay, what's the one you drove like one night, knowing it's like, okay, like whatever happens, I'll probably have to drive back. Mine was like 2.5. I drove about 2.5, and I definitely drove the 2.5 back. The guy drove 3 hours Wednesday. Dr. Dude's over here. Megan back on the scene. Oh, yeah, like one shot, right? Because I think that's different. If you drive like y'all been talking for, you drive 8 hours with somebody and y'all been talking, I think that's different. I mean, like a one time thing. Listen, I appreciate your honesty. Long shots of over an hour. I was in a major dry coochie. Quite the odor. It was pungent. What's up to one more time? He had to make sure. See, that's what I'm saying. You got to make sure, because one time maybe she just got off work. Maybe she just got done roller skating or helping her girlfriend move, or boxing. Maybe she was kickboxing or something like that. 2 times, that's a trend. Your one shot, about 2.5 hours. 2.7 for a weekend worth. That's more than fair. That's more than fair. I've been cruising the streets. Listen, it sounds like the streets been cruising to you. 3 hours. I front like I wouldn't drive 3 hours. Meg she just drove to the next big city in South Carolina. It just happened to take 4 hours. He live in Greensboro. She live in Columbia. Cruising the streets a lot of. I drove like 2. Yeah, nah, mine was about 2.5. It was about 2.5. Drove it many times. Boy, you fill up a tank of gas with a smile on you. Top it all, yeah. Oh, listen, I believe you. I believe you 100%. Like Mark, walk with his hands in his pocket. He was just looking for a pipe. Yeah, bro just ain't lived in. He just ain't lived enough yet. Do some more. Yeah, do some more living. Do some more living. So hey, listen. I tell you this. Driving down is the longest 2.5 ever. Driving back, quickest 2.5 ever. Really not that bad. You drive down. I'm trying to listen to the radio. I'm trying to listen to some old albums, some new albums. I'm trying to listen to whatever I got, man. On the way back, cooling. Hey, listen. Actually, feel like 15 minutes, man. Home already. Oh, look, more than happy. You put the car in. Would you like a car wash? I would like a car wash. Would you like to give $150 to the Little Lord Fauntleroy's School for the Deaf, Dumb, and Blind? I would like to do that. I was like, well, you drive back light as a feather. You drive there stiff as a board. But listen, it's you get back in 15 minutes, dude. Driving down, you be like, oh, any little bit of traffic, like on the way down, like 2 cars pile up. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I'm gonna kill everybody. I'm gonna kill everybody in school. Driving back, you can get caught behind 9 hours. Like, hey man, what can you do? You just drive. Arm out the window. It's the quickest drive ever, dog. They drive. Oh, that's. Nah, I say not even that I'm Dr. Bitches, but I say that if I've made the drive, I've been on, you know what I'm saying, fairly certain. Making that's okay. What's the longest? How long was that drive, Roby? How long was that drive? He had on this good cologne. He drove back mad. One side, asshole. You can sleep it. Yeah, look, on the way back, you could drive for 12 hours, man. Miss my exit? Oh yeah, who cares? Hour and a half. That's tough. Okay, listen. Bro's young enough for that. Bro, he ain't old enough to have one side of the story. He young enough to have the other side, though. Okay, what's the longest drive you had where nothing happened? I don't think I got one of them stories. Like I like to count my chickens before they hatch. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough, Lamar. 8. I wouldn't. I don't know if I drive. There's not a whole lot I would drive 8 hours for now. I drove 8 hours I drove from Atlanta to Columbus, Ohio, but that was for a weekend and some respecting. That was the longest drive I had, and that was one of those driving there. I was like, I am dying on the way back. Feeling great. 8 hours is tough though, dude. Okay, I'll bite. How did you drive 8 hours but not know if she wanted you? That's all, bro. You could have got some money. You could have worked 9 to 5. Oh, that. Hey, you know he hit every red light. He got a flat tire. Gas was $8 a gallon. He forgot something at her house. Like, you know, that was the worst drive back. I forgot my glasses. I can't see. 8 hours, dog. That's surgery. You been to the hospital when somebody gets some surgery? Yeah, you got pulled up speeding, changing lanes without signaling. Yeah, forgot his. I forgot my work ID. Fuck it, I'll quit the job. Taylor talking there real. Listen, we're grown. It was a great tweet. Somebody said, "Listen, we're grown. You're a flight away, and I'm paying. Let's stop the cap. Let's stop the damn cap." Lamar, we got to hear this story. Everybody get one story time. It's Lamar's time. I passed my house to let myself process it. Sometimes you got to. You be like, I don't live there. I don't live there. 8 hours. Yeah, not. Pele, whom that may or may not have happened to, but that may or may not, we might be talking about a completely fictional close personal friend. He might be off the hook. That'd be like if 10 high schoolers whooped your ass for 8 hours. I'll fly some. Yeah, JTR talking that talk. Well, Lamar went radio silent, and I hope he typing this story or committing seppuku. Okay, what's the furthest you flew somebody out from? What's the furthest you flew somebody out from? If we talk, I mean, this is money talk. Man, look, hey, imagine walking back to the house 8 hours later, smelling like the cologne you put on 8 hours ago, right? Like you ain't work it off, you ain't sweat, you ain't nothing. You look the exact same. Your shirt ain't buttoned, like, you know what I'm saying? Your shirt ain't wrinkled. I guess I get the drive. Okay, but I get it. She couldn't like. That's one of those. I might would have had to check in every hour. I'm 6 hours away. Do you still love me? Okay. I'm 4 hours and 27 minutes away. What's up tonight? I'm 2 hours and 16 minutes away. I'm kind of sleepy. We should probably just go to bed as soon as I get there. I'm 52 minutes away. Just kiss it. Nah. Yeah, I think she probably just realized she was like 8 hours. She was like, I'm an attractive woman. I could go outside. You know what I'm saying? I could go outside and point at the mailman. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, she got a rotary phone? I ain't even asked that question. Meg just want to flex. I paid for several expenses. 8 hours is tough, man. Yeah, we would have had a legal agreement. Like, again, hey, when we get there, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do, but you will see my ass in court. Like, hey, I don't play. You know what I'm saying? People change their mind. Consent is consent. Respect that. She didn't want to do it, then she didn't want to do it. But I'll see your ass in court. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. You're going to have your day on a jury, bitch. 3 hour borderlines. That's tough. Right? Yeah, I'm 4.7 miles away in a Tinder swipe. What's bracking? You know, come on, man. Look, this is the safety circle, man. Anybody in here ever been flown out? Not talking to Meg because Meg clearly has dick on call. There's a Rolodex of dick that she could just call. She could just pick Guam, Puerto Rico, and just get flown out anywhere. Anybody ever been flown out? I used to get flown out to DC all the time, man. I was really living that life, bro. I took it for granted. Yeah, right. Your Honor, she clearly promised me the buns. She changed her mind, which is fine. I'm not suing. I'm not suing because she didn't want to give me the buns. I'm suing for pain and suffering. Judge, you be like, that'll be $8,417 to the plaintiff. Not yet. That's the spirit, CJ. I'll say this. It wasn't flown out by them, but anytime when I got flown to New York to go up to the Barstool offices, that was basically me getting flown out to do some respecting. That was basically the bat signal. So I didn't pay to get flown. I got paid to get flown out. It just wasn't by who I was respecting. It was by who was buying the wine. But when this white boy got an afro, that's not real hair. That's not his real hair. That's not his real hair. Are y'all seeing this? His beard brown, but his hair, it's like Justice Winslow. That's blackface. I don't like that. Listen, that's all it is the back. That's just what it is. You just post a picture of my favorite one was the airport tag, like in Queens. That's the bat signal. In town for the week. Because it's saying, 1, I'm already here. 2, I have a hotel in a nice area. 3, any meals are getting expensed. So it's the ultimate bat signal. The ultimate bat signal. Hey, turn your location on quick. Ooh, it sure is cold up here at LaGuardia. Knicks play tonight. It sure is busy in the city at Manhattan. Listen, that shit works, man. The signal be signaling. That's tough. I'll say I've had that as one of those, like, you get to New York, see what happens. Hey, I'm in New York. Oh, here for work? Yeah. Okay, enjoy your time. You were my time. Yeah, like, man, oh man, is the is the Junior's Cheesecake on 9th Avenue always this busy? Oh, you in New York? Yeah, I'm up here for a couple of days. You know what I mean? Gosh, we're just so busy tonight. But Wednesday night I'm free. See, it was the good and bad. Like, I used to be in the middle of the week, so I would always be like, hey, you feel like such a hoe. What's popping on a Tuesday night? But a lot of folks be like, oh, I mean, nothing, just got work in the morning. Like, well, listen, I don't really have set hours here. You know what I mean? I can just kind of walk out of the, like, Oh God, I mean, an Uber there would cost so much. I'm expensing it. I don't care if the Uber costs 400. I'm going to expense the Uber. That was till they changed who did the expense accounts. I didn't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, is this 30 Rock, huh? That's really what this means at the Rockefeller Center. Wow, the Empire State Building sure is tall. A lot of grass in Central Park. Oh, you're at Central Park? Just for the week. Yeah, time. Yeah, Times Square. And man, what a real party at. I was good for that. I'd be like, man, oh man, that was always my one. I'd be like, man, every time I walk in Manhattan, I see white people, and that would just get the black people to be like, oh, this is where you need to go see the black people. That's where you be at. That's what I'm telling you, man. That's what I'll be telling my therapist now. I don't know what happened. I used to have the juice. I used to have some juice. I don't know juice now. Everything cycles, but you know what I mean. Yeah, check. I'm at the Applebee's on Staten Island, D1. Yeah, first Knicks game. Barclays. Wow. Well, Brooklyn. What a city. So vibrant. It's literally that easy, man. And that's just for like you can do it for like whatever city you in. That's all you got to do, man. I ain't even answered the question. I was from Dallas. I paid for some trips to and from Dallas. Oh yes, that's why. Listen, when I tell you I've been to the Dealey Plaza many times. Plain emoji, yeah. Hey, just saw my dog Julius Randle, New York Nick. I'm glad my bro doing well. Hot fall. Yeah, you just wow, what a city. Yeah, wow. Damn, Celtic pride really is something at Mattapan Square. See, you also got to know like one thing from everybody's city. Know like one thing from everybody's city. Damn, Crenshaw long as hell, ain't it? You in LA? Yes, I am. They right. Damn, New York pizza really is better, ain't it? Now here's the one. Here's the one, big man. I hear all this about a New York slice, man. Where do I get a good New York slice from? Man, oh man. I ought to charge separate for this. It ought to be a whole different tier. Just retired nigga again. Not even retired. Yeah, no, I'm definitely retired. I was like, I just haven't been signed. No, I'm retired. Yeah, man. Where do you get a decent slice in the Big Apple? Where do you go at? I went to Sabero. They told me to go to Sabero's. Oh, nobody goes to Sabero's. Where do the natives go? We go to XYZ. Where's that at? I don't know the city. It's by. Come on, man. Yeah, no, I'm definitely retired. It's one like when you see a player that hadn't been signed in like 3 years and then they announce their retirement, like like if I'm trying to even think. I don't even know who like retired 3 years ago. If like you just see like Jody Meeks announces retire. Oh, okay, now you're retired. I got you. Right, but listen, Jody Meeks had a good run. When he had a good 10 years, played with the Lakers, won a ring. He had a good run when he played. Man, that's what I'm saying. I can give y'all the game, man. I can't play it no more, but I can give you the game. Ready to be a grandfather. Cole Anthony been on fire since I bet against him. Yeah, that's exactly it. Jalen Rose, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm still weighing my options. Not the pot. No. No, I'll tell you this. I did a couple more clicks. I did find her Facebook page, so I do know what she looked like, but no luck there. I'm blaming my therapist, really. She's like, we need you to time out from that. Now I feel like I got out of the game. Now I know how to get back in. I'm ready to blame someone that's not me. Oh, dude, look, step grandpa. Step grandpa. That's the move. Step grandpa. You checking in? Yeah, Thomas being set me up. I show up to meet some hoes. Thomas there with some black forces and a Tech 9. I'm like, God damn it. Here, man, just take it. I don't know why I bought this. I don't know why I fall for this every time. Yeah, what the hell was I saw? Like I swear to God, I saw Anderson Varejao sign with the Cavs, and I was like, was this like a sign for one day? Like sign so he could retire a Cavalier? Okay, respect. I don't know what sentimental. What I like when guys do that. They were like, no, he's a Cavalier now. Like, why? Why? Game after 5. That's tough because he gotta upgrade his whole wardrobe. I noticed that too. You know, when you're in a relationship for a long time, you don't get no new clothes. You ever notice that? You know, you don't get no new clothes. You come out, it's just like you got out of jail. You like, are we still wearing? I got phone pauses. Are we still? Because you ain't had to impress nobody in a while. I bought some shoes today because you ain't had to impress nobody in a while. Whatever whack ass shoes and jeans you had, she just loved you, or somebody just loved you. Yeah, he still dressed. Yes, because that's what these. Listen, I was wearing this in 2015 when I got some work. Why would I stop wearing it? It's like, bro, we don't. Oh, come on, bro. He'll be back. He got to get him some new clothes. Bears are coming for. Look, Kevin Love don't want him. Kevin Love don't want them minutes. We'll wrap up a little bit. I saw that, like when Kevin Love just checked the ball, and I saw a lot, like because Kevin Love has openly talked about his struggles with mental health, which I really appreciate him talking about. For one, I feel like he was one of the first, like even before DeRozan, before Paul George. I feel like he was one of the first. I also don't know, like, does that excuse you just tapping the ball? Like, you know what I'm saying? These feel like two different things. Like, it can be two different things. And I hope I don't want that to come off like, well, I do my job when I'm depressed. I don't want to speak because I do my job when I'm depressed. But those feel like two different things to me. But I could be wrong. Why didn't they move? Look to who won? I think he got. I guess it's years. I think he got 2 years, 60 million more. Who want that? Move on. Yeah, who wants that? I wouldn't. Like, I get why he signed it. You know what I mean? Like, you take the bread, of course, but who trading for that? And after I don't know if his last year's not fully guaranteed. I think you could maybe see him move this summer, but yeah, ain't anybody trading for that. The Raptors couldn't. That's one of those, like, I can't even believe that they like capital. I feel like I'd be so shocked that I wouldn't cap it. Like, I'd get the ball and be like, what? He just passes some wide open 3, bam. But he don't want to be there. But he signed for the bread, man. And if he get traded this offseason, nobody gonna remember this. Lonzo with the man. I've been trying. I was like, man, listen, Lonzo. Somebody better sign Lonzo before because he's good now. Lonzo is good. I feel like the Pelicans are probably going to match any offer, but before I want him to go to the Bulls, man. Play better. I do. I think he would. I do think he'd play better on we just, if these guys are not happy in their situation, they play better in their situation. They always do. I just don't like who wants that much and who can afford, like, who. What playoff situation is getting it? Eat half his salary. See, that's the thing. I do wonder if it would work more like kind of like baseball. It's like, hey, listen, I get it. He make 30 million this year, 30 million next year. We'll pay 28 of that million. I do wonder if that could work. But even then, who's giving up a first for that could fit him into their salary cap for 30 million a year for this year and next year for 14 points and 8 rebounds on 38%. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's not too easy to find. You can find it for cheaper than 30 million. I wouldn't give up a first for Kevin Love. They need an empty stat. Roby think everybody empty stats. you talking about Jared Allen, Roby, or somebody else, or Drummond? Shit. Roby think every single center is empty stats. He's played 20. Yeah, like I don't even know Kevin Love's numbers this year. Right? Like he's not better than Larry Nance right now. He's not part of the future. He's not part of the present. Let's see. He's played 20 games. He's shooting 39% from the field, 32% from three. Right? Like I do think those would go up on a playoff team, but who's trading for that? I wouldn't trade, and I'm trying to look up his salary now. He's got 31 million this year, 31 next year, 29 the year after that. Like, yeah, he signed 4 for 120. I don't see no player options, but if it is a player option, he's not signing it. Just boost. Okay, no, that's fair. I was gonna say, I was like, he hate Jared Allen too. I was like, I like Jared Allen. He'd be good working. He would, but listen, if Miami got 30 million in cap space, they going after Kawhi Leonard, who's still a free agent. I don't think he's leaving, but just something to consider. I'm gonna look up the free. Yeah, let's look up the free agents before we get out of here, because a lot of people have signed. Like Chris Paul has a player option. He's not turning that. I've heard some talk that he'll turn that down and take a longer deal. I don't see it. That player option next year is 40-something million. I feel like he'll take that and figure it out. Kawhi's got he turned that down and re-signing. Conley, Lowry, DeRozan, Otto Porter, Oladipo, Dragic. Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to get paid. He'll get paid. Schroeder will probably get paid. Fournier, Danny Green, Iguodala, Oubre, James Johnson, Cody Zeller. Like, it's not a good free agent market. Like, Paul Millsap might make 10 million. I'd rather have Paul Millsap for 10 than Kevin Love for 30. Montrezl Harrell, PJ Tucker, JaMychal. Yeah, like I'd rather cobble a couple guys together than pay Kevin Love 30, because I already know I know what he is. If I can cobble Jay Crowder and Paul Millsap and Norm Powell, like, you know what I'm saying? You can cobble some of that shit together. The money this season, I think, is going to be restricted free agency. That's what I think. Like, I'm going to tell you who the Heat should get, big man. John Collins. If you're paying $30 million for a power forward, go throw a max offer sheet at John Collins. Restricted, you got Lonzo, Lauri Markkanen, Zach Collins, who he just can't stay healthy, man. I think Zach Collins is good. He just can't stay healthy. Dennis Smith Jr., Frankie Smokes, Malik Monk, DJ Wilson, John Collins, Jared Allen, Josh Hart. Josh Hart's good. He'll get paid. Devontae Graham, Gary Trent Jr., Bruce Brown, Jared Vanderbilt, Taylor Horton Tucker. Like, I think restricted Duncan Robinson's going to get paid. I think restricted free agency is going to be, that's where people are going to get paid. I would love John Collins in Miami. So that's the type of move I could see. Like, they want their money for Giannis. Okay. If not, then let's go get somebody younger than Bam or I guess him and Bam might be the same age because Collins did 2 years in school. Around the same age, younger than Jimmy. He can shoot, he can score. Like he can be, if he's our third scorer, go get that. Duncan Robinson is restricted. Okay, he's restricted. So they can match it, but it's one of those things like Bam's money kick in next year. Jimmy already getting paid. I guess Dragic's a free agent. Let's look at Miami's cap. This is just the Miami Heat podcast. I'm Robinson gonna get paid. I think I said it on Twitter. If I'm Robinson, I say I need 4 for 80 because Joe Harris got 4 for 75. Bertans got 5 for 80. I need those to start. Okay, now Miami got some because they got Dragic next year at 19, but that's a team option. Iguodala's 15. That's a team option. Oladipo, Ariza, and Bielisa are all expiring. Bam's money kicks in though, so that's a big jump. But outside that, Harrow's still cheap. Achua's still cheap. Kendrick Nunn can get paid this summer though. Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson can both get paid this summer. Kendrick Nunn, yeah, they could both. So it's one of those like they could keep both of those. They could lose both of those guys. Yeah, Oladipo. I know they traded for Oladipo to keep him. He just, I don't know. And I was high on him coming into this year. He looked decent in Indiana. It just hasn't worked. Like I'm looking at from Indiana to Houston to Miami, his field goal percentages dropped in each stop. 3-point percentages dropped in each stop. Like he just hasn't looked good there. So that's one of those. If he come back, we just not paying you a whole lot. Yeah, Nunn. I mean, Nunn's a solid player, but he could walk. If I could get Collins for sure, or shit, dude. If they could get if the Heat got Lonzo, just like one more ball handler, one more shooter, one more defender. You can pair him with Harrow because he can defend. Like they got one more. Yeah, I agree with you, Jake. They've got one more major move, and they don't really have any picks to do it. But they got a lot of cap space. You know we're gonna hear like they'll get a meeting with Kawhi. I don't think they're gonna get Kawhi, but yeah, Oladipo, Dragic, that's 40. Iguodala's 55. They got 75 million coming off, and Bam's extension only takes up about 20 something of that. So they'll have some money to play with. I mean, and they could also always sign and trade Iguodala. You could sign and trade Kendrick Nunn and get maybe get a pick or two back or a trade exception. Duncan Robinson is the interesting one because again, I think he's gonna get paid like $20 million a year paid, and I mean, he's a great shooter. If that's what the market dictate, then that's what it dictates. But it's just one of those like if they could do like Collins and if they could do Collins and keep Robinson, that's a tough team. Because Miami, they get the other players. If they could get like Iguodala or get some of the bench guys back for cheap or just develop new guys. But Bam, Jimmy, Collins, and Robinson to shoot. Harrow, you still have Harrow for cheap. Find a new Kendrick Nunn. Like that's a tough core. That's why the Kyle Lowry deal never made all that much sense to me. Like he's good and he would have made them better, but it would have been time to pay him again after this season. And also he wasn't pushing them to the next level. If they get a John Collins and can keep Robinson, that's when it was like, oh, okay. Like he might like conference finals business. They're not making the conference finals this year. I don't see it. I don't see that. But they got a lot more cap space now. They're still paying Ryan Anderson. So there's that. They pay him $5 million this year and $5 million next year. So that's optimist view. Next year, that's $5 million freeing up. Okay. I'll say this though. What time? And we'll probably get out of here. I didn't think we talked this much heat. After next year, Jimmy can opt out. Jimmy's getting 34 this year. With this year's basically over. Next year he's getting 36. Then after that, he's got an option for 37. Jimmy's 30, so I imagine he'll turn down that option and want one last big deal. Jimmy is 30. Jimmy turns 32 this year. Right, so it'll be 33 next year. I imagine he's gonna want one more big deal. So that's where they got to keep that in mind for him. So, but also, I mean, you've already got him though, and I think they did. I don't know if they have his bird right because they traded for him technically. So if they're just like, hey, you can sit, like, just hang tight until we get somebody else. Yeah, I thought. I guess I thought he had at least one more year on that deal, but player options, man, like player options are never good for a team, like ever. I get why you give them, but they are literally never good for a team. Because if he picks up that player option, that's the last year of Harrow's deal. Then you got to make a decision on him. You didn't want to trade him for James Harden, which I love Harrow, but he would have been in Houston eating at Tilmer Furtado's restaurant. He would have been eating at Cheddar's right now as we speak. I think Achu was solid. Akpala decent. Gabe, yeah, like they'll find the other pieces. Dragic might even come back for cheap. I think Dragic going to Dallas. I would almost bet. I think Dragic and Doncic are going to play together at some point. Doncic not leaving Dallas no time soon, so I think it's Dragic probably going to play for Eurobi's Mavs sometime soon. But if they can get Ariza, Bielisa, some of these guys back, Iguodala, get these guys back for cheap, and then go Jimmy, Bam, John Collins, Robinson, that's your four money makers. Then if you're willing to re-sign Harold, that'll probably, certainly take you into the tax. But if you're good enough, you pay it. Oh, what the thing with that is, I think because he just likes Doncic, I don't think it'd take that much money, and I don't think it would take that much minutes. Like, I don't think you'd have to be like, okay, we're giving you 3 for 50 and we're promising you 30 minutes a game. I feel like he just wants to play with Don. Like, I feel like he's like, I'll come off the bench. You're not going to play him minimum, but he's like, I'll take, mid-level. I'll take something decent. You could do, if he's willing to come off, you could do worse than Dragic. He's not better than Brunson, but if he going to back up, you could do worse than that. I want to hate him for dragging your team down. Yeah, he gonna if he brokers, okay, but if he make money like DeAndre Jordan, but he brokers the peace treaty between KP and Luka, I feel like that's worth it. Take money to make money. Take money to make money. Let me look at. All right, I'm looking at Dallas, and then we get out of here. I promise, because we'll end up looking at every. So I'm like, here's the thing about Memphis's cap space. John Morant now. But Dallas is gonna have some cap space too, because Tim Hardaway is 19 million. He's up. I would try to keep him though. Tim Hardaway's been good. Redick is 13 million. He's out of there. Josh Richardson has 11 million. He's opting into that. Dwight Powell and Maxi Kleber make 20 million combined next year. What I know seemed like a bargain as soon as they signed it, but so they got a little. They got some. Dallas got a little bread this summer. He got some bread this summer. Sorry, boy, Roby, drunk. No. Now, Dallas another one. They got one major move to make, and that's why it's like, what's the move? Because if KP and Luka really not getting along, they might have two major moves to make. You get Doncic out of there and you build around Porzingis. But like Brunson, ooh. See, next year a team option for Brunson, which is dirt cheap. But after that, he a free agent. Yeah, that's why I need to hit my line. I'd have Hardaway back on a team-friendly deal. I'd have Dragic here for something very respectable to be like our third guard off the bench. Josh Richardson, Kleber, Powell, and they're fine, but that's $20 million, man. If you're playing with Luka Doncic, I can find $20 million in centers. How much longer do they keep? Man, he's another one. Where do you go with him? Porzingis, these next 3 years, like this year he's at 29. Next year, 31. Following year, 33. Following year, player option for 36. Like who wants that? Who's like, yeah, KP, that's what we need. We're a KP away from contending. Because if they could move that deal, oh yeah, you move it in a heart. I just don't know who you're selling on that. The Celtics. Oh, I bet the Celtics were interested in Porzingis. I bet they were. I bet they were interested in Porzingis. Put him in number 98. But no, I don't know. It's maybe that I might start doing that because like the end of the regular season, I'm just out on. It just might cap space time. But let's call that. Yeah, we've been going almost 3. Big man said Jay's Braves looking good. We'll see what these fight. Strickland and Yotko is not capturing me. Wizards are up on Dallas. That's interesting. Clippers Nuggets on ESPN. That's probably what I will watch until I pass out. So let's call that a day. I think we read enough of the nasty lady stories. We read enough crazy Vince McMahon stories. Appreciate y'all. As always, again, check out Session Sheesh if you haven't. Really enjoyed that one with Spencer Hall. He does great work. Go check. If you're not familiar with him, go check him out. Just take everyone's word on it. He does good work. If you're a college football fan, you need to be following Spencer. Let's wash our masks, wear our hands. I feel like maybe, just maybe, we're getting close to maybe seeing. Eurobi's right. We off that. You don't know the vibes. Don't wash your mask. Don't wear your hands. You don't know the vibes. But yeah, appreciate y'all. Y'all stay safe. Be thinking about think about how much you appreciate your ability to read functionally. Just something to consider. Don't wash your ass. The ladies don't like it. We'll catch y'all next time.